Water filters are one of those things that just about everyone's going to take backpacking. And for years, the Sawyer Squeeze seemed to be the king of backpacking water filters. That is, until the Katadyn Be Free came out. And then suddenly everyone was talking about this water filter that was not only faster, but easier to fill up. Backpackers all over the world were switching out their trusted Sawyer Squeeze filters for the new Katadyn Be Free. Well, and you might think it's happening again with the new LifeStraw Peak Filter. Maybe you've seen the articles or the videos talking about how revolutionary this new filter is, that it's a game changer, or that LifeStraw somehow reinvented the water filter. Well, don't believe it. Here's all the reasons why the new LifeStraw Peak Filter is just a bunch of hype. First of all, nothing has really been reinvented here. This is just a hollow fiber filter in a new package. Hollow fiber filters have been around for years. That's what the Sawyer Squeeze is, the Be Free, the Platypus Quick Draw. Most filters on the market today are hollow fiber filters. The biggest change in recent years has been the speed at which you can filter, which you might think that really isn't that important, but speed really equates to ease of filtering. The faster a filter is, the easier water will pass through the filter. I remember the first LifeStraw that I got and how hard it was to get water through the filter. It wasn't like drinking through a straw at all, or if it was like drinking a really thick milkshake. But significant improvements have been made that make filtering much less difficult. That's the main thing that LifeStraw has done. They finally caught up to the rest of the market and made it easier to push water through their filter. But they're not the first to do this, and far from it. And they aren't even the easiest or the fastest. So first off, nothing has really changed here. The game has not been changed. It's the same technology that everyone else is using. But just because you're using the same technology doesn't mean you can't make some significant improvements to the design. And LifeStraw has made some improvements from past LifeStraws, but they still haven't come out with anything truly new. So the new Peak series has three basic designs: a new straw, a new gravity filter, and their flagship filter, the new squeeze bag. But it seems like all LifeStraw has really done here is copy the design of the largely successful Be Free by putting their new filter inside the squeeze bag. The only problem is it doesn't really work very well that way. The reason this works for the Be Free is it's open all the way around the filter, allowing the water to enter from any side. But the Peak only has an opening on the bottom, which means once you get down past the last few ounces, you can't squeeze water out anymore because it's fallen below the entrance to the filter itself. Now, I need to confess that I put out a video earlier this year calling the new Peak filter the worst new gear of 2022. At that time, I believed there was no other way to use this filter but with it inside the bag. But several of you educated me that I was wrong, that you can actually pop off this little rubber spout here and thread the filter onto the outside of the squeeze bag. I was wrong, and I admit that. But that's not how LifeStraw is shipping these filters. It's not how they're advertising them, and to the best of my knowledge, they aren't really doing anything to let people know that you can use it this way. If you didn't know, like I didn't, you might think that this is the only way to use this filter. And that's not even the worst part about this design. Let's say that you do flip this filter around and use it outside the squeeze bag for the sake of convenience, but then you want to put it back and drink from it like the Be Free. You're now putting the dirty end of this filter right where you're planning to drink, risking dangerous cross-contamination. All the unfiltered parasites and bacteria are dangerously close to where you're going to be putting your mouth. So even though I was wrong and LifeStraw realized that they needed a way to put this filter outside the bag, they didn't really think it through enough, in my opinion. Now, the last big selling point that LifeStraw is pushing is the tough durability of their new design. And I'll admit that the squeeze bag does feel very durable, especially with the stiff shroud around the collar of the squeeze bag. But it also makes it really hard to pack up to a compact size, especially when you have the filter on the outside of the bag. It just makes the whole thing a little more awkward in more ways than one. And durability usually translates to more weight. Sometimes that's worth it, and sometimes it isn't. In this case, it doesn't add too much weight to the filter. My half-liter squeeze bag and filter weighs in at 4.3 ounces compared to my Platypus Quick Draw that weighs in at only 3.8 ounces. Now, keep in mind that my Quick Draw squeeze bag has double the capacity of this half-liter Peak series. Now, I do feel like I need to say that this is a perfectly fine filter to buy. It's going to do its job and filter out bacteria and protozoa and other contaminants typically found in backcountry water sources. You're not going to be in danger or get sick just because you choose to use this filter. And it also has some features that make it useful, like a standard 28mm thread that allows you to screw it onto a smart water bottle or a Canuck bag. It's a perfectly fine filter. It's just not revolutionary. And that's my main complaint here. LifeStraw really hasn't done anything that hasn't been done already by other filter companies. All LifeStraw has done is catch up to the competition and then pat themselves on the back and claim that they're being revolutionary. But if you really do want to see a filter that I believe has made some really good improvements in water filter design, check out this video right here all about the Platypus Quick Draw. This is my favorite water filter and one that I believe has actually had some real thought put into its design. Be sure to like, subscribe, and do all those other things. And as always, thanks for watching.